Hello everyone and welcome to Tassa Springs, our beautiful vanilla city in Cities Skylines. And would you look at this, we have hit 11,000 population, which means, drum roll, we get access to trains and content creator pack, metro stations and what have you. Do you know what that means? It means that we are going to create a transport hub finally in this big area right here. So this is all going to be re-gentrified into a transportation hub. I let the game play a little bit AFK, and I did have to create a little bit of an ugly grid here to get the people in, but I felt today was the day we needed to do this, so we'll just ignore that part of town. I also want to thank you all for the amazing support shown in the last episode where we built this amazing little area as the camera is struggling to understand what's happening under the water. But yeah, in the last episode we created this waterfront commercial office district park with a waterfront tram, which is looking absolutely fantastic, with a walkable quay that will obviously lead into our magnificent downtown area, which will be in a later episode. But yeah, super happy how this little area turned out. Of course, also with the introduction of some high density residential over here, and our first metro line, which is currently carrying 0 passengers because it's going nowhere. But that will change today. It is going to run over here somehow. We'll figure it out. We'll see how it goes. We are also going to fix the overcharged overpass over here. I did, while the game was running AFK, I did upgrade this to a highway, street, two-way highway, and it actually helped quite a bit. Traffic is less stucky now, but we need to take this tram line and pull it up out of the roundabout because it's too much. The very first thing we're going to do here is we're going to create a whole new district for this area, which means we are actually going to pull away Fairview Heights, and we are going to cut into Artivan Triangle a little bit here, which is going to be this spot right here. On top of this, we'll just create a district that goes sort of like so. Hopefully this is big enough. This district is going to be named after one of our wonderful subscribers, and the name will be the Gram Jensen Exchange. Perfect. There you go. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for being a part of this amazing and growing community right here. Or should I say tusen tak. We need to remove everything in here. All right, so now with everything deleted, we have a nice big blank canvas, and finally we've lifted the tram out of the roundabout because that was, yeah, creating some issues to say the least. Also, if I sound a little bit stuffy, it's because I have a cold. I'm not sure how. It's 43 degrees where I am, and I got a cold. Well, anywho, let's jump straight into to a little bit of a road layout here. So with our medium 4-lane with our 4-lane road with trees here, I'm gonna just measure out a distance of 490, which is where I want the entrance to be. Not trees, excuse me, grass is what we have here. So that's about here on that green car, right? So then I can go in here and grab our 6-lane road with trees, and it was right here. Yeah, right, cool. So we'll drag this up by a distance of 400. And then in anticipation, I'm just going to grab the normal road here and come out by a distance of 520. There you go. Then we can come back into our bus lane here and drag it up by another 560. So about there. Cool. Then we'll grab the 2-lane road with trees, and we'll pull this out by a distance of 350. To about there. Then without the grid or the road length on, we'll come down all the way so it'll sit right on top of this without actually connecting. So a very almost merged together frontage road, right? So we get this sort of action, right, where it's, you know, seemingly one sidewalk.
Now, let's come back into our 6-lane road here with buses, and we'll pull this up by, with road length and grid on, by a distance of 320 right there. And then we're actually going to go into our medium road with trees here, pull this out by a distance of 400, grab our grass road here, and this will come up by a distance of 800 right there. Back into a tree road. This will all make perfect sense in a second. Sometimes things has to be ugly before they're pretty. Anyways, tree road here by a distance of 640. Perfect. And then we'll grab our just normal road here and we'll come up to the same distance here, which is about 640. Yeah, seems about right. Back to our medium road with trees, and we'll come out by another 240. Perfect. And then these two can then meet up right here, and that should be perfect. And then with the normal road, we could actually come out by another 120, and then down by 440, over by 240. Cool. Then we can come back into our 6-lane road with bus lanes here, and this can now come up by a distance of 1280, and that'll be nice and closed off. And then these two can be there, and then let's actually switch over to our tree, medium road with trees here. Close this off, and then come out by a distance of 800 there. And that can then meet up with this little bit of road right there. Perfect. Now on this little corner, we can actually come out with our normal road here by a distance of 280. There you go. And up to the edge of this churchyard right here. So 320. Perfect. Up here, we'll place down the first public transportation asset that we're running with. We'll place in this intercity bus station, and that's going to fit perfectly into this little corner right here. Perfectly. All right. Right up on the back of these churchyard. Very, very pretty. All right. Now, in this space right here, we're going to run with a metro station, and the reason we've been waiting to hit 11,000 is to get access to these, the content creator metro stations, because they're just so pretty. And we're gonna run with the sunken dual island platform metro station from the train station content creator pack by Bad Peanut. So we'll grab this one and we'll place it in, where will you snap? Right there. Okay, so it's a little finicky on the snapping, but with the tongue right in the mouth, we will be able to place it in there. Cool. And this is looking super good. Of course, it's a little bit out of place, the modernism of this compared to, say, the Via Tassa and like the general look of Tassa Springs back here. Oh my god. You guys have leveled up a little too much, I think. What are you? Yeah. No, we don't want that. We'll let you guys grow back in, and I gotta keep on top of this so we don't get these. Anywho, what was I saying? Yeah, it's a little bit too modern for this area in general. The sort of backstory, or the lore, the sort of backstory to this would be, you know, this used to be a tram something interchange, right, from olden days, and then later regentrified. So it makes sense that it's a lot more modern. Okay, as the city grows, the need came, as it is in game, it would have been in real life. Cool. And then on this little spot over here, we're going to place down the train station, and we're going to run with the elevated island platform train station. All right. And that's going to sit nicely in the middle right here. All right. And it's going to have the general direction of where we wanted the elevated train tracks to run, which is right here, right? Over here. And it's going to run over to the other side and meet up with this track over here. Perfect. And again, super, super pretty asset, super modern, right? But it fits in very, very nicely, I think. Now let's talk about our tram depot. I know we have a tram depot over here, this one, but right now that is only serving the tram line that's running over here because it's not yet connected. Once they get connected up together, this, we'll just imagine that is like a secondary maintenance depot or something like that. So let's place in our tram depot, and that's going to sit right here with its back up against the Via Tassa, which is Travis Bridge here. It needs to be Via Tassa. Thank you very much. Let's come into our public transportation here, and we'll grab our tram depot, and it's going to sit right. Come on, you can do it. Are you not gonna be nice about it? No, you're not. Tell you what, we're gonna do something else then. We'll drag this out and we'll place it in first. All right, it worked in testing. There you go. And then come here. It would be right here, right? There you go. Perfect. And then we can delete that and upgrade this little bit. Cool. All right. So then we can come to our tram track only here, and we can bring this down to this grid right here and run it as a frontage tram track. All right. I may have to, let's see, will you play ball? I believe not. No, I don't want road guidelines. I'm actually going to remove this bit of road right here because it's snapping to it, which we don't want. So we'll come up by 1. What was that? 700. We'll come up by another one. All right, 720. I can run with that. And then right here. Perfect. And then from there, we're going to have to delete this water tower really quickly. And then just the smallest of curves into there. Perfect. And I think that's going to look really nice. Yeah, not too shabby at all. All right, straight through the roundabout. Finally, it's not coming down here and, you know, doing all kinds of crazy stuff to the traffic. Perfect. Let's start filling out the blank spaces a little bit. All right, so there is an asset I have in mind that I want to put in right here, which is going to fit just perfect. And it's one of the content creator unique buildings, and it's the small office building right here from the Japanese content creator pack, right? And this will sit perfectly right here. So almost like asset fusion, right? If you had Move It or Anarchy, these two assets fits together so nicely. And of course, opportunities for a little walking path, a little service path into this water tower right here. But super, super nice. Very nice looking looking asset this. I love the Japanese content creator pack. Over here, we also have a bit of an open space, right? So here, we're actually going to place down a small emergency center right there. And in my head, I mean, I know it looks kind of weird, but in my head, it's like the service entrance to service the tram tracks or the metro tracks that are running down here, right? A little just, you know, workers entrance right there. And maybe we can talk about pulling a road down here. However, I want to place a little bit of a plaza here as well. So we'll come into our parks and we'll go into a city park and grab the park plaza, and we'll place one down sort of in this grid right here. Let's have a little cafe as well right there, and another plaza, thank you, on the other side right there. Perfect. So just a little bit of, you know, importance to this area, a little bit of a little cafe right here. We can possibly pull, you know, talking about detailing palette, we can probably pull in a path right here, something like this, with a light, so it obviously lights up at night, right? Very nice. In here, we have a perfect little opportunity to satisfy some of these needs, right? So maybe a little bit of, you know, an office, or excuse me, a commercial, and on the other side, a little office, and then in between the two, we can run a little path. Perfect. You know, and we have a little bit of the same over here. We do have a little, you know, a little pocket where we can fill it in with some offices and some paths, which, you know, we'll swing back in the detailing time lapse once we get there. Now, behind this train station right here, I have in my head that I want the botanical garden which is an asset that I really like. But first, I'm actually going to drag the train tracks out a little bit so that we get the pillars in the right spots. Right, so let's pull it out to here. Let's take a look. I'm actually just realizing now that I've never appreciated well enough how beautiful these elevated train tracks actually are. Like, look at this pillar. What an amazing look this is. I mean, we can come under here. Man, I love this. I love the elevated train tracks. I don't think I've appreciated that enough before. But with that, sometimes if you place a road under here before you drag the train track out, it won't do it. It'll say space occupied, but it's not. But we can take our little road here with grass, and the train station is not going to like it, but it's going to have to be boxed in like this. Perfect. Well, let's grab our tree road here, and we'll just come down a little bit by maybe 240. We'll create a little bit of a offset plaza vibe here. Let's grab our botanical garden and place this right here and see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that's nice. And of course here, we'll make a little tree road with a path, right? Maybe a little path that's just meandering through here. If we want the crossings, we can always, it won't do it with that, but if you upgrade this part to another type of road, like the bicycle one, or even just the normal one, which I think will work better, we actually do get the pedestrian crossings here, which is always a good thing to have. And I think this fits in very, very nicely. Of course, with a little green belt running underneath here. Now let's leave this for a little bit and take our train track over to the other side. So we'll come in to our train track right here. If I delete this, it's not going to want it because, yeah, see, that's what I was talking about. Anyways, we'll just place that road in again. Now, what I want here is for this to just ever so slightly meander a little bit, all right? Maybe not that much. Let's place down just a straight piece of track right here. And then with the road guidelines on, will it reach that road guideline right there? No, it won't, but it's going to be right here. And there it is. And then these two can meet up perfect straight. Nice. All right. And then, then we can place this road in again right here. Cool. Very, very nice. Now we'll keep going straight. Straight. Thank you. And without the road guidelines on, please. Then we'll come into our free form here a little bit and just continue to meander with the road here. Let's find a good spot right there. Yeah, that should be good. Then of course we'll bring it to right here for now. I think that last bit needs to be straight. We'll bring it to about there for now. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, just meandering through the city. I mean, I wouldn't really necessarily want to live close to this, but it's pretty. All right, look at the pillars and the layers of height, as I always preach about. Now here, we will have to run a little bit of eminent domain, as this train track is going to run straight through your properties right here. All right, they'll grow in again. It's not the end of the world. They're not gonna like living there, but they'll grow in again. We could even place just another house right here. That'll be good. Cool. And then on this side, this road is actually going to go away. This will have a completely different connection here. So if we come into our train tracks again, we can start planning on coming down to ground level again in big chunks of 12, I believe it is. So down by one, and down by one, and down by another one, and that's ground level. We'll do the same with the train track or the metro, excuse me, which will run underground for this first part, and it's probably going to run pretty straight. Yeah, let's put it here for now. It's going to meet up with this metro track, you know, eventually. So, man, cat ratio banks burned down once again. Just every time it burns down. But let's take our metro track. I am painfully aware that we don't have a lot of money, but let's see how far we can get. All right. So I just let the game run AFK a little bit while we made some money, since we ran out while trying to make this curve. But yeah, now it's done. So it's gradually coming out of the ground here, coming up right here, and then going over the highway right here, and then coming back down again into this modern district, shopping district right here. Right now, for bus lines, let's pause the game a little bit here. So we'll grab the bus line first and sort of place them more or less strategic. The first bus is going to run. It's going to run over here and grab some residents. It's also going to grab whoever works here at the school or goes to this school, and we'll stop in here. We'll also, if you will go this way, yeah, there you go. We'll also stop right there, and then we're actually going to come all the way over here and grab these guys, and we'll grab these guys over here, and we'll stop here, which is close enough to the tram line right here, and then we'll come back and complete the line. Wow, that is a detour. So you're going to run all the way over there. Okay, good to know. So that means we'll then also add a stop here, and possibly one. Was that the way you're gonna? Okay, so you're gonna go that way around. Okay, then yeah, we'll have a stop in here in the Washington apartments, and we'll complete that line. Perfect. Now another line is gonna run in and grab some people from here, some people from here. You know, so we'll make another line right, not there, but right here. We'll just start from one end, and we'll grab everybody who is living in this area right here. We'll come over to these guys right here. Now we don't want to have too much of a space between the bus lines, so we'll come into our cat ratio banks over here, grab some people there, run through the forestry or close enough to the forestry, so about here should be good enough. And then this one, it won't stop by the school, or it could stop in this one as well, just so we have access to the school, and then we can complete that line. It's going to do all kinds of crazy stuff in there, but you know, it's okay. We'll add a little bus line as well by the fish market here, and it's going to grab some of the workers and some of this commercial right here. So it's going to stop here, over here. It's going to stop by the 10U park here, run through here, and then it's going to stop close to this one, so they can walk over, but not interject or not be too close, all right? And then we'll have this guy come back. Let's see where it's going to stop. Okay, so we could add a stop right. No, we can't stop there. Of course not. Yeah, that should be good. So that's 3 bus lines. Let's color these up. So I'm going to hide these 2 so we can see what we're doing. This window is so big. So this is this one. We'll call this the fish line, and we'll color this sort of like a salmon color. That should be good. Let's hide that, and we'll come to bus line 2, which is the forestry line. So we'll make this greener and call this forestry. If you have a suggestion for a better naming system than this, please let me know. We'll hide that line as well, and then show this one, which can stay blue, and call that the
What should we call this? The residential, yeah, res school. Cool. Now, with those colors in mind, we can go in and create the opposites, right? So I'm going to start from here, and that's running that way. So this one will run the opposite direction. And it's going to stop on the opposite side of each of these stops. Yeah, that's fine. And then where does it run from there? It runs here. Yeah. And here. 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 And this is then going to be residential school B. Let's take our metro line and add these guys in. So this is going to be a very short line. We only have 2 metro stations. So it's just going to run back and forth. Complete line. This also reminds me, we don't need 6 vehicles on this line. We need 2 on that. We can take a look at all of these. We don't need 6 on this one. Let's have 2 on the fish line. There you go. Come on. There you go. 3 for the school. We'll have 4 running on that. It's a little bit bigger. Yeah, it's a big one. So we'll have 4 running on that for now. But before we start detailing, we are going to add our parking right here. So as always, we're going to add a mini district within the district. So we're going to cut a hole in the communes and exchange right here and draw in a new district. We'll place on the organic and local produce only, and we'll remove the name. Cool. Then we'll come into our zoning here and zone it out in 2x2s. Not like that, like so. And boom. And then once that's grown in and you've historicalized the parking asset, it's going to look like this. And I'm now noticing the offices that are growing up over here, and that is very much not the ones that we want. So as always, we're gonna delete these and then put in some very, very specific assets. They grow up quite fast because our need for industry is quite high. But as always, there are some very specific assets that I have in mind, and it's these. So a little bit of trash news. Hilarious. And then some older style office buildings that they were here, you know, together with the tram depot, and they're still functional and working perfectly fine. And then of course we're going to have the same issue right here. Indeed we are. The Speedstar. You are not welcome here. So we'll remove those 2, and we'll wait for the correct assets to come in. These are the ones that we ended up with. Now I actually ended up just making the 2 commercial assets because the only 4x4 smaller office asset is the one we already have over here, and I didn't want to have 2 trash news right next to each other. So we ended up going with just 2 commercial ones, and it works out. But I think that's a good point to start detailing this up. So we'll jump into a detailing time lapse, and I'll see you afterwards.
right, everyone. Well, that is going to do it for me today, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this. I thoroughly enjoyed in detailing up this transportation hub, and I'm very much enjoying looking at this train going down this slightly unrealistic off-ramp. Disclaimer, this is only here for now, just so that we can look at the train running. How beautiful is this? The first Tassanian train. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Nice big bunch of trees around the botanical garden, a lot of walkability. We are already seeing some people using these paths, which is amazing. A lot of detailing underneath here as well. Yeah, this was very enjoyable. I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and I'll see you in the next episode. And until then, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or night. Bye-bye.